Hi everyone, this is a message for anyone that is currently struggling and completely stuck in an eating disorder. I just want to try and give you hope in some way. That voice in your head that is controlling you, may feel like that is determining and controlling the rest of your life, but the struggle you're in right now does not determine the rest of the future. If you want to change, you can. The prospect of recovery and going against your eating disorder and not doing what it says is absolutely terrifying and daunting, and I completely understand that. And to be honest, it's probably actually an easier life for a peace of mind to carry on listening to your eating disorder. If you want to do that, just carry on. But you've got to think, at the end of the day, what does it give you? It gives you absolutely nothing but misery. It's actually a million times harder. It's so bloody hard to actually choose recovery and choose it every single day and use all the skills in the world that you have to not listen to that voice, not listening to it when you've had a bad day, and using all the strength and resilience that you have. That is the fight that is bloody harder. There is another voice in your head, which is the real you. That's a voice that you have to try in some way start listening to. It might be a bit quieter and a bit more weaker, but the more you use it, the stronger and louder it will become. And if you do that, the negative voice will get a bit quieter, because you can't really have both. And that's the thing with recovery, you can't say to yourself, I want recovery, but I'm going to listen to a bit of the eating disorder just to sort of please it. It doesn't work. Both of them don't go hand in hand. Unfortunately, it's one or the other, and you can't have both. You can either want recovery or not, and that's kind of like the brutal truth about it. You can never truly recover with a bit of an eating disorder still there. It just won't work. It'll just want more and more, like it always has done. The more you put into recovery, the more you get out of it, and that is so true. My proper recovery after messing up has only been 3 months, but it feels like about 300 years. But I just think to myself, if I'm feeling this much better and happier in 3 months, God knows what more months and more years will bring, which is why it is so worth it. But in the same way, the more you listen to your eating disorder, the more it'll get, the more it'll want from you, the more you'll cling on to it, the more you'll be scared of letting go. And I think that's what kind of holds people back in wanting to recover. It's letting that voice go. You've listened to it for so long, you've trusted it, you've followed its every command for days, months, years on end. So you're kind of trying to learn a new behaviour, which is hard, like any behaviour you learn in life or anything new you learn. But again, you've got to think, well, what's it given me so far? I bet you could list a million things it's taken away or you've lost from listening to the voice more than any for what it's given you. Because whatever it tells you it gives you is false, and it's all lies. Honestly, it really is. Someone helped me with this point and said about, you are never ready to change. Completely agree with that. You won't, without putting the effort in, you won't wake up and your eating disorder will say, oh, I've had enough now, right, you can just get on and live your life. That'll never happen. There'll never be a day where you think, right, I'm completely ready to change. You can think of all the excuses in the world to not change, or think, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it next week, I'll do it next year, it'll be fine. But that, unfortunately, I'm sorry to say, but that day won't come. You have to take control and fight back. You have to use that voice in your head that's actually you to say, no, enough is enough. I've wasted so much time already listening to that horrible voice. Now's the time to change. There's never a perfect day. There's never a perfect emotion. There's nothing ever that's going to be perfect for you to want to change. You just have to do it. And this is more for people that might not understand eating disorders, but things with people with anorexia, everyone is so different, but what people tend to find difficult, and things I found difficult, you spend your days ensuring, people might struggle with exercise, so your day is literally controlled by how much exercise you feel you need to do, and a lot of time you actually don't want to do it, but you feel you have to. Weighing foods, planning foods, eating safe foods, counting calories, like, and they all seem really like silly to people that have never been through that. But when you're actually in that, the prospect of not weighing your bloody cereal out is like the end of the world, and that's why it's so difficult. But guys, like, when you scrap all that crap, you have got so much freedom. Like, you've got to think, like, for your future and what your future prospects are, is knowing how many calories are in an apple, or how many bloody shredded wheat you should have. Is that really going to help you towards your future? It's a fucking waste of time. It really is. It's your eating disorder making you feel like you need to do all that shit. But it's horrible, and it feels like you can never get out of that again, like, ever. But you can get out of it. I used to do everything like that. I used to weigh my cereal out. I used to bloody look at my Fitness Pal and see how many calories in what, and base my exercise around it, base my routine, like, spend hours looking at what type of bread and what type of sandwich fillers I can allow myself to have. It's all shit. It's all lies. You don't need to do any of that. Like, a bowl of cereal is a bowl of cereal. You don't need to weigh it out. And that's not being like horrible, because I know it's so hard to get out of that. But this is why, if you break them rules, it makes your life so much easier. You have got all this time in the world to actually focus on what's important. But, like, there is hope. And also, like, don't be ashamed of, like, if you are struggling, to accept help, because that's what people are there for. Like, there's not services around for no reason. Like, if it's not a real illness, the services won't be there. So don't be ashamed of, like, admitting you're struggling. But there is hope.